I'm going to show you how to make this design similar to this design here that has the 3D text with the lens flare on it, and then you have your background with dots of the lens flare. I'm going to show you how to make that here on Photopea, which is similar to Photoshop, where you have your layers, you have your tools, and this is what I want you to do. So I'm going to delete, I'm going to turn off all of this here so that we can kind of start from the basics. So wait, actually, we can just go back. So I'm going to take you guys way back so I can show you the basics of what we've done to kind of give you a quick tutorial on how to do what I'm doing. So the first thing that you're going to do, I'm going to drag and put this, I'll put this in the trash. Delete. The first thing you're going to do is go over here to the T. Once you get your T, you're going to bring it and click the white space. If you don't know where to start also too, because some of us, when we first open the program, we don't know where to start. So this is what the beginning of the program looks like. You can click some of these options here to begin your design. I clicked Insta Portrait because it looks similar to an 8.5 by 11 page with your rectangle, your vertical rectangle instead of left to right horizontal rectangle. So I clicked here, and that's how I was able to choose this page style. Now that I have the page style as this size, click the T, click the page, and then you're going to choose a word that you're going to add the 3D effect to, and then you're going to change the background. So first I have free space here. Now in order to create the text that's going to be vertical on the side, I'm going to click text, click the page, and then what I want to do is change the way that the text appears vertically on the page. So what I want to do is make sure that you find the area that allows you to convert the, also if you can't see this option that I have here, that window, you can click here. And then we're going to begin to change the way that the font appears. So what we're going, make sure this is clicked. Get your font here. Get your word on the paper. And then we're going to change the way that it appears. Highlight it here. For some reason, I have lost the directional properties of my letters. So, double tap, change it to 3D, but I still don't have the letter to be horizontal. So, that's not it there either. I've lost, let me see here. There it is. Okay. So you're going to click vertical type tool. Click back here on the page, go to free space, and now your text is vertical. This one here, that is not what I want it to be. I'm going to just delete this. Right click, push delete. And I'm going to add free space on the other side of the paper. So I'm going to duplicate the layer by right-clicking the layer. And I added duplicate. Now I can go back up here to the cursor and then bring that right on over here. And I'm noticing that it's not fitting within the space. Duplicate layer. I'm going to bring this one down here. There we go. So you may want to choose a word that has the same letter as the first letter as the last letter, so that it fits within the same style of what we were looking at over here. So like this says classic cult, talking about a Nike shoe. What we can do is just change this to just say free here at the top, so that the words don't even run into each other, and still put the space word here. And just leave it at the top, and then you can That's there. If it's too small or too big, you can go right over here and change the, see right there, and you can change the font size. Now what we're going to do, so you know which layers you're on, you're going to click here, double click, and then you can change the name of the layer as well. Here's how to turn the layer on and off. I'm going to put right lettering, because this is on the right side of the page. Right lettering. This one here is on the left. Double click, left lettering. Just like that. And now what's at the bottom, that's the top here, so I can put top lettering. Change that there. This must be the bottom. So I'm going to type bottom lettering, just like that. And now I can move this down here. And if it's still too large, go back over to the T. Remember I talked about clicking here, change the size so it fits within the space provided. And while it's highlighted, I can drag it and put it in the space there. Now let's talk about how to get our letters to be 3D that are coming on the side to create the 3D effect. I'm going to go to the left lettering, double click the layer window. Now I'm going to click 3D. You see immediately how the shadowing goes off to the left diagonally. What I'm going to do is double click in here. Well, just not double click, but click once. I'm going to change the angling so the lettering fits inside. So I'm here, angle right here. It says angle. I'm going to change it so that the lettering fits on the inside of the box that we're working in, this space right here. Then I'm going to distance, stretch the lettering all the way there into the distance. I can shrink it to make it small, more directional space perfectly. And then I can change the color to even be more of a metallic color, just like so. Now I'm going to do that on the right-hand side as well. Double click over here, 3D. Then I'm going to go to the angle, divide the angle right back over into there. And my distance is already at 192 px, which is perfect for in here. I'm going to shrink it so that it fits inside the space. You're going to continue to do that for the top lettering and the bottom lettering. Now let's go ahead and work on the background. Change your background swatch to like a blue or a purple. And then you're going to click the paint bucket. If you can't find your paint bucket, click this white corner. Some people may already have the gradient tool up, but click the paint bucket. Go to the background layer. Fill that area. Top lettering. I'm going to double click, 3D, click again into the space, change the angle to layer down inside, just like so. That's done there. Now the bottom lettering, just like so. 3D, click the 3D option, change my angling so it fits up inside the space. Now we've done this just like that. Now we're going to get into, so pay attention to this piece. We're going to go to the background layer, click filter, render, lens flare. Push OK. Your lens flare pops up. If you don't like the directional area of your lens flare, what you can do is go to filter, render, lens flare. You can notice here you can change the X and Y axis. So you can get two lens flares on different areas of the page. And then you have these white dots that we saw similar to this area, this design here. Also notice your letters look like they're going off into the distance. They're a little bit more translucent than what we have here. If you want the translucent effect, go back up to your lettering, double click, click here in 3D. Then you notice there's opacity. Change the opacity. Now the letters look like they can be moving off into space. If you want to add a drop shadow to give more of a 3D effect, you can do so just like that. So what you're going to turn into me is multiple things. You're turning into me your lens flare. You're turning into me the 3D lettering. And so you're learning how to do the filter, which is the render, lens flare. Then you're also turning into me the lettering. So this is the design and what it's going to look like in the end. Make sure also as well that you have the opacity changed. Just like I showed you here. Make sure you put your opacity all the way low. And then you can even add in your drop shadow to give it more of a You can darken the drop shadow. See how that looks there? And it gives you that look that we're looking for, where it looks as though like it's swiping to the air into the distance. Drop shadow, opacity, darken that in. Then you go to 3D, opacity, soft. Wait, I was on the wrong opacity. I was supposed to be in the drop shadow opacity. Wait. Right, we didn't do the right side. Let's do that. Put the drop shadow on there. Go into your 3D area. Darkens it. Then you're going to change the opacity down like this. So it looks like it's going off into the distance. Top did not look the way that it should have. 3D, darken, and then opacity. There we go. We really want it to be darker, just like that. And the opacity here, just like that. Okay, you're going to finish that off with going over to the left-hand side of the lettering as well. And you're going to go add this drop shadow in. The drop shadow is off to the wrong direction. So, distance spread size, we want it to be angled maybe towards the inside here. Let me see. Oh, it's changing the distance around all of our drop shadows. So we have to be careful using this angling here with the drop shadow. We really only want to work on the one layer. So let's just change here. Darken this in here. For that purpose, opacity not full. We want it to look like it's going off in the distance, like it's fading away into the distance. If your program begins moving slow, that's because photo rendering takes a long time, or computer graphics takes a long time. It takes a lot of space is what I'm trying to say. It takes a lot of space on your computer. So you shouldn't have a lot of windows open while you're trying to work on your lettering and your design. Please go ahead and turn this into me once you've completed the design. And this is what your main goal is. Thank you for watching this video.